I realized I had a natural sort of ability to both sell things to people and be involved in the fashion space and bringing those passions together. It was just like, this is where my best self exists.
Can you talk a little bit about what your role is with ShopStyle?
I'm Director of Business Development for our retail-facing business development team. ShopStyle is at its core a search engine for fashion, and when users come onto our site and say search for a black booty, we sort first by relevance, and then within that we push the traffic when the user finds a product that they want out to the retailer's site and get paid when that user makes a purchase. So that's called affiliate marketing.
Okay.
It's a form of performance marketing which is based on users taking an action. So we have over 1,400 retailers on our site.
About anything you could ever want.
Yeah, everything you could ever want across the internet. So it takes an army to manage those relationships.
Can you talk a little bit about how you ended up in the position that you're in with ShopStyle and managing all of these relationships and people?
I always loved fashion, and I actually, when I was a little kid, I really wanted to be a fashion designer, and I would make paper dolls and I would sew clothes for my Barbies, and I ended up going to art school. Instead of studying fashion, I studied art history.
Okay.
And I started my career working at Christie's, doing business development in the trust and estate space. So to break that down, what that actually means is when rich people passed away, I would go through their belongings and pull out the things that were valuable to help the family sell them at auction. In 2008, unfortunately, the economy wasn't at its best, so the job that I was in no longer existed.
It's a tough spot to find yourself in.
It was, but it was also an opportunity. So I worked for 2 years as a contract consultant for the Department of Homeland Security.
Oh my God, my dad did that. Side note, side story.
Side note. So I had a security clearance and had this incredibly technical, government-y Washington, D.C. lifestyle, and 2 years in, I was like, this is not my life. This is not who I wanted to be. Like, I had blue hair in college. Like, what am I?
Right, like how far you've come from fashion to be working in Homeland Security.
I don't understand what's happening with my life. And so it was at that point that I just decided I was going to work in fashion. So I sold my car. I cashed out my 401k. I got on a bus with my dogs and my shoes and moved to New York City.
Oh my God.
And interviewed a lot and could not get a job. Met with headhunters who told me I had no shot. Again, 2010, the economy was still not good and I had no experience. I actually happened to get a break when I met a woman in a dog park who owns a small publishing site, a fashion publishing site called shefinds.com. And I was lucky enough that she gave me a chance to become an intern and work with her. I was very lucky. The ShopStyle opportunity landed in my lap at a time when I was not looking for a job. I'm still very close with the Purse Blog team. It was emotional to the point that I said no to ShopStyle 3 times. I wouldn't even interview because I was so emotionally invested in Purse Blog, and it was so hard to get to where I had gotten that to shake it up felt unnerving.
You've gone through so much instability to finally find
and
like,
I was
stability.
feeling good. Yeah. But the opportunity at ShopStyle was huge. I flew out to San Francisco, met with the whole team, and decided to make that move. And that was 3 years ago. And I've grown in my role and now not just looking after the East Coast, but all of North America.
Yeah.
So that's a long story, but
that's the journey.
Yeah.
It has been a journey. So I wanted to take it back a beat to that moment where you first said you showed up in New York and you were coming from DC and your background was art history and then Homeland Security and you had a passion to work in fashion, but on your resume, or as people who were just meeting you for the first time couldn't see it. And I think that there's a lot of young women who find themselves wanting to make a career change. They've started off in a direction, realized it's not right, and then thought, like, but how the heck do I switch? Can you remember what those moments were like when you were kind of being told, like, you can't do this? And, like, how did you get through that and show them wrong?
Oh, yes, I remember those moments very clearly. I remember meeting with a headhunter who explicitly said to me, you have incredible experience, you're very impressive, you're clearly very intelligent, and no one will hire you. And if you want to make this transition into fashion, you need to expect to take an entry-level job and think about going from a career and a salary where you were making a livable wage to not. And this was, the headhunter was like right near Times Square. And I remember like walking out and sitting, there's like this triangle in Times Square, like where there's like a seated area. And I just sat down and cried.
It's like cue sad music.
Yeah, it was like, I just was like.
Low point.
I was like, I have to be poor? Like, what?
What does that mean?
And I think that also sparked something in me where I was like, no, maybe someone else can't get that job, and maybe it will take me some time, but I can get that job.
Yeah.
And nobody tells me no.
Yeah.
So, like, at the same time, it like lit the fire. Yeah. Like, I remember that day.
Was there anything that you started to do then to sort of make sure that you felt really confident stepping into that role? Were there books or blogs or podcasts or anything that you started reading or listening to feel like you could really own it?
I was at the time when I really actually started in this industry. It was right when PopSugar really started getting a lot of attention. So actually, what's very funny is ShopStyle is owned by PopSugar, and when I moved to New York, I remember thinking I will work at PopSugar someday. And side note, so I was looking at PopSugar. This was also when Refinery first popped up. So I was looking at Refinery all the time, what they were doing. This was when Man Repeller first popped up.
Yep.
So it was a really interesting time where, if you remember, like, Instagram also had just came out. This was the year that Instagram started. So I don't know if anyone else remembers, but like there was this time where it was like the only thing you looked at on Instagram was Refinery 29, Man Repeller, and Danny Joe. And like I was looking at this and thinking like, there's more opportunity. This space is going to get bigger. This is interesting.
What's your secret or your key to really building effective relationships with people?
Oh, this is the cheesiest thing, but it's authenticity. Like, I know everyone is going to say that, but the thing is I don't meet someone and like think, ooh, this person is going to have a lot of money to spend with me. I need to like sidle up to them and like be close and like be that. Yeah, no, I don't think that. You build that relationship and you check in every once in a while, or you like join a book club together, or you get coffee once in a while in New York City, and then all of a sudden 4 years later, the opportunity does present itself to work together, and that's what real networking is. It's building actual, authentic relationships that aren't based on what you can do for me today.
I have to ask you, what do you do to cultivate your creativity?
So on my lap here.
Yeah, I know. I can't believe we haven't brought it up yet.
I haven't brought it up yet, but this is Ella Bean the dog.
Oh my
She has her own Instagram handle.
At Ella Bean?
At Ella Bean the dog.
At Ella Bean the dog.
At Ella Bean the dog. I'm going to give you a sticker.
Oh my gosh.
And basically being
oh my goodness. Can I?
Yeah, super cute.
Oh, you have to see this.
So being in this industry, being in this space, I just thought, like, wouldn't it be funny if my dog was a fashion blogger?
Of course it would.
It would be funny.
That's the natural answer. That's
right,
what you do.
It would be funny. And it also ties back to what I do and what I'm passionate about. And
she's wearing like her shop style.
Yeah, she's branded. I don't know if you can see this
in
on
her like leather jacket here. Yeah.
Which we'll talk about because I actually made the leather jacket.
Did you?
I felt like if she really was a fashion blogger, she'd be wearing fashiony clothes, not basic.
She's not a basic dog.
Right. So then it was before Fashion Week last year, and I like literally ordered a sewing machine on Amazon and was like, I'm making my dog a leather jacket, and I went to the garment district and bought leather, and my husband's like, you're a psychopath, you can't do this, and I'm like, again, someone tell me I can't. Watch me.
My last segment here, which is I make everyone pull questions out of my jam jar about silly fun things that I want to learn about you.
What's at the top of your bucket list? Oh man, I have been really #blessed.
Throw it up! Oh,
#blessed. So that's actually my biggest problem right now is like things are so good and I have achieved so many of my goals that I think I'm a little bit lost without having a next goal. And I think one of the other things we haven't touched on is the career. The key to being successful is always having that next goal.
Yeah.
So for me, my bucket list right now is to find what that next goal is, to find what that next big accomplishment is.
Yeah.
And see what that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty lucky that I've going to Paris was one for a long time, and now I've been like 4 times. It's like, I'm lucky.
You're lucky. It's because you worked hard.
Yes, I worked hard.
You worked hard to find that luck.
Yeah.
Well, good. I think that's a perfect note to end on.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ella Bean, for being part of the interview.
She says you're welcome. She doesn't do a lot of interviews.
Well, we are blessed. Thank you.